Hey Moon Magic Super Souls, welcome to your Moon Month Energy Update and your all Zodiac sign readings. In a moment we're going to look at the cards and the runes that are drawn for this overall month. There are 4 cards, 4 runes to look at, and we'll be talking through that sort of general guidance that comes from those cards and runes. I will then, of course, be looking at all Zodiac sign readings for every sign. These are suitable for your sun sign, if you know it, your moon sign, your rising sign, or if you know your chart and you have any number of planets in a particular sign, it's worth checking those readings out. But before I do all of that, I'm actually going to run you through the incoming sort of lunar influence for the coming month. Now, every moon month starts with a new moon. It begins with the new moon. This is a point where the sun and the moon come together. It's a sacred marriage. It's why we set our wishes and intentions on the day of the new moon. Ideally, we set them literally sort of as close to the time of this magical moment of fertility when the sun and the moon come together, the divine masculine sits with the divine feminine, and ideally we are setting our wishes and intentions as close to that point as possible, but for the 8-hour period afterwards. So that's kind of how the wishes and intentions energy works. It's like the moment they come together is the moment of fertility. It's the moment of conception. That's the way the energy is sitting. So from that moment onwards for 8 hours, there's this window of opportunity to set your wishes and intentions. Now this is a very big, bold, beautiful, very lovely actually, the dynamics of the day on the new moon. It's in Leo. Now this happens to also be in the Lionsgate portal. And the landscape portal is when the Earth, the Sun, Orion and Sirius are all in alignment. And this is said to open a portal of energy whereby we can sort of project into the future what we wish to manifest. We can receive massive spiritual downloads, information of higher levels of consciousness. We can see big shifts occurring in our own lives, in different areas of our lives as we're moving forwards. It's a space that is said to be really auspicious and primed with opportunity. A new moon in Leo is big and bold and courageous and brave. It's about you putting wishes into the world that are connected to your ambitions, your dreams, the biggest, best version of you and the biggest, best version of the world you want to create. So very, very fabulous energy that we are starting this moon month with. What I will also say is it's quite an intense moon month. The energy, even though we have various planets in retrograde, big planets in retrograde, Pluto's in retrograde. I wrote a list of all these things I need to tell you, or would like to tell you, so I don't forget anything. Saturn's in retrograde, Neptune's in retrograde, Pluto's in retrograde, Mercury is in retrograde. So lots of retrograde energy. And retrograde energy can mean that things feel a little bit discombobulated or don't run smoothly, or stuff from the past can show up. Perhaps things from the past that we need to address and to heal and reflect upon in order to then free our energy up to move forwards, to be able to, if we think of life as a constant process of manifestation, of a constant process of creativity, you know, each of us every day we are in a process of creatively manifesting life. Every breath you take, you are manifesting life, your own, your very essence, your very being. We can direct our energy through the power of our mind and indeed the power of our heart, most importantly, I think. When the power of your mind is aligned with the power of your heart, your manifestations have far greater power and are far more likely to manifest and emerge more quickly. So back to, I feel like I'm jumping around a lot at the moment, but there's a lot of things to potentially share with you that are happening right now that affect the energy of this moon month that you can kind of harness in a favourable way. Now, as I said, this is a big moon month because the energy, despite the retrograde energy, it's very punchy, it's very dynamic, it could be quite fast paced. So you might find that there are fast-paced interruptions actually coming into your world with both retrograde energy and fast-paced communications taking place as well. So there's a lot happening. As I said, in a moment I'm going to run you through the individual moon phases. We will look from the new moon, we'll look at then the crescent moon, we'll look at the first quarter, we'll look at the waxing gibbous, we will look at the full moon energy, which is very, very powerful, very, very dynamic, and I'm going to say very, very intense. The full moon this month is in Aquarius, and it really is intense. I mean, every full moon is considered to be intense. It's a space where things are illuminated for us. But this really does have some very, very intense dynamics within it. So we'll talk about that and how to best navigate that. I'll then look at the waning gibbous, the last quarter, and then the waning crescent moon phase as well. So before we move into those slides and I talk you through what's happening, interestingly enough, this moon month we have only got 2 void of course periods of any significance. Now, if you're new to me and you're new to the moon, a void of course moon is when the moon moves from one zodiac sign to another and there's a space in between. So if we're manifesting with the moon and we're learning to work with the moon cycles, we listen to the way that the moon's energy is influenced by the zodiac sign that she's passing through. So for example, if she's passing through Pisces, you might find yourself feeling very dreamy, very spiritual. That's the higher vibration of that energy. But when the moon passes through Pisces, you might also feel a bit confused sometimes or a bit out at sea. You know, the energy will affect us in very specific ways depending on what's going on within the context of our personal lives. When the moon then moves into Aries, we've then got a very fiery, very dynamic kind of I am energy of Aries. So depending on what the moon is doing as she moves through Aries, we're going to experience a very different flavour of lunar incoming energy. So when there's a space in between, the influence of the moon is not being channeled through the personality of a sign. This is what we call a void of course moon. And if we have any big void of course periods, I always let you know about them in these energy updates. There's only 2 actually this month, and they're not even massive. I mean, sometimes we can have a void of course moon that lasts nearly a day or even a little bit longer. We've got 2 void of course moons this month. What is really significant is that one is following immediately. It's literally the day after the new moon, so it's very much connected to the new moon energy. And the second is actually connected to the full moon. It's on the day of the full moon, which is very, very, very intense. So if you're having intense stuff going on and then you get this sort of shift where the moon is moving from one personality to another, as it were, it's like she's wearing one coat and then she puts on another coat and there's this space in between. Now this could feel quite liberating, quite free-flowing, but it could also feel a little bit like you are out at sea without an anchor, or you're not quite sure how to remain grounded, particularly around a full moon. So I'll talk a little bit about that, but I just wanted to let you know about those 2 void of course periods. And lastly, actually, before we dive into these moon phases and the incoming energy and then the all zodiac sign readings, this is going to be a long video, as it always is once a month when I do this. What I also want to just touch base with, we've spoken about the Lionsgate portal. Now, if we look at the Celtic tree law that is associated with every moon month. Remember, every moon month starts with a new moon and carries through to the next new moon. The Celtic tree law for this month is actually governed by holly. Holly is about soul regeneration, soul rebirthing. Holly used to be put, actually, traditionally here in the UK and in this area of the world, used to be placed on coffins, actually, when people were, being buried, because it was said to help the soul to transition from one dimension to another. So this is the energy that is around this new moon and this whole moon month. We're also in the Lionsgate portal, which allows shifts and transitions to take place. in the tribal lore, the clan moon mothers, the writings of Jamie Sams. I'm a really big Jamie Sams fan. Anyone that knows me will know that. I will put a link actually to one of her books in the description below. Now, she speaks about the sort of the tribal mythology and the tribal clan moon mothers for every moon phase. This moon phase is the clan moon mother of She Who Heals. Again, opportunity for self-responsibility in terms of our own personal growth and healing. She Who Heals is a moon month when things can actually come up from the past that we need to heal to kind of unblock ourselves. It's the stories that are associated with this clan moon mother are very beautiful. When I first started following the moon, I actually found that the Celtic tree lore and the tribal stories aligned perfectly with my own life experiences I found during this moon month, and have consistently found it that things surface, that it's like the layers are peeled back so that I can actually see what I need to heal in order to become, I guess, to regenerate, to rebirth myself, so that my own energy can be aligned in a way that I can then actually be far more actively co-creative in manifesting the world that I wish to live in. You know, the person that I wish to be. You know, going back to that wonderful saying, you know, be the change you wish to see in the world. This is a moon month that is all about stepping up. And with some of the intense dynamics that are going on, it does suggest that there may be times when stuff shows up that could jolt us into having to take action, or jolt us into having to really look at ourselves, really face up to our position in something, you know, take responsibility for where we are. But in doing so, we become empowered, we can heal, we can cleanse, we can renew. This new moon, lastly but not leastly, all these bits of information that I want to share with you. This new moon sits opposite Cheroklo. Cheroklo is one of the new asteroids. And Cheroklo in mythology is the wife of Chiron. She is a centaur. Chiron is a centaur. Chiron is the wounded healer. Cheroklo is a soul midwife. Again, all about transition. She helps souls to transition, to transform, to heal again. So this is a remarkably interesting, energetically interesting moon month, where I think there's real opportunity for us to process our own experiences, heal anything that is not working from within, that could be blocking us or getting in the way of us from being able to manifest actively and be what we want to create. Because ultimately, if your heart and your mind are singing from the same song sheet, energetically, and likewise, I would also say, if your heart and your mind and your wishes and your intentions are in alignment with the higher good, you know, of course they are about our own personal desires. You know, any manifestation, any wish will be coming from you, and therefore it will be about you and your world. But if that is in alignment with a higher vision for the greater collective, as we move into a world of unity consciousness, as we move into a world where we recognize our autonomy simultaneously, you know, we have conscious free will and choice, we also recognize that we are all interconnected, we're all related. And I think this is the art, this is where the art of manifestation is really going to be understood in its fullest and most complete way. You know, we are all related, we are all interconnected. And the planets, indeed our beautiful moon, I see them as sort of teachers, as mentors. They are sending in energy that we can align with, that will enable us to transform, to regenerate, to evolve, to move to higher levels of consciousness, where manifestation is not just about sort of immediate stuff and immediate gratification. It's about a much purer, higher love that actually affects us all individually in the best possible way, but ripples out into the world, affecting all of life. You know, this is the age that we are living in. This is the stuff that the world is really, really about. And we are moving increasingly into a space where living consciously, living with awareness, knowing that your thoughts, your actions, your deeds, your words, all of which are literally affecting the energy around you, and therefore affecting what you manifest, how you manifest, and not just affecting you, but affecting everything that is rippling into the world. The more people that are aligned with higher consciousness, aligned with love, with purity, I mean, that's a powerful state of being to be in. When you are aligned with that energy, your wishes and intentions are aligned with that energy, and you are uniting and connecting with hundreds, thousands of other people who are aligning with the same level of consciousness in their manifestations. I mean, this gathers momentum. It's significant. And this is a moon month when we can take a very proactive approach to the way that we heal ourselves, transform, create shifts, and in real terms take actions to be able to bring our manifestations into being. So let's move to the slides. Let me talk you through the entire moon month and the incoming energy, so you have an idea of what to expect. I'll put dates in the description box and timestamps, so if at any point during this moon month things are heating up for you and you think, whoa, what's going on, come back to the video, find the date that you're on and check out the energy. And you know, because it may be really, really helpful. You'll also be able to see that it's going to change. It's not going to sit there forever. You're not stuck in anything for any amount of time. You know, it may mean you need to, you know, I don't know, sort of just, I don't know, take a stillness break, or just retire for a day or two, just step away and not be involved. You know, the purpose of these energy updates is to give you information so that you can navigate your life with far greater authority, far greater autonomy, far greater agency, far greater sovereignty and empowerment. So I will run through those slides now and talk you through the incoming energy. Then we will look at the cards and the runes that were drawn for this month within my own diary, the Manifest with the Moon Astro-Moon diary, which gives all of this moon information. You know, every month, every day, you'll know where the moon is in the diary, so that you can check in with the cards and the runes, because they really do give a flavour of how to navigate the overall flow of the month. And then I will move to the all zodiac sign readings. So the timestamps are there. You can access any bit of this at any time that you wish to. Beautiful souls, thank you for being here. It's an absolute privilege to be connected with all of you. So let's listen to the moon. So we begin this new moon month with the new moon in Leo on August the 4th. I'm going to bring the timings up for you. Now, wherever you are in the world, there are too many places for me to print absolutely everything and put it up onto the screen for you. But hopefully this range of timings will make it possible for you to work out that exact point of conception, that exact point of fertility. And it's from this point and for the 8 hours afterwards that the energy is primed for us to set our wishes and intentions. Now, the energy of this new moon in Leo promises to bring a blast of energetic sunshine into your world. It's absolutely delightful, so embrace the day. This moon asks you to be bold, be brave, and be confident. And the overall dynamics today enhance every aspect of this in absolute abundance. A new moon in Leo will naturally lend itself to wishes that focus on creativity, love, romance, playfulness, generosity, and having fun. The energy of a Leo new moon also supports you in enhancing your personal passions, your leadership qualities, your enthusiasm, and every element of your world that supports and encourages the building of your confidence and your individual self-expression. What's not to love, really? Now, Mercury is also moving into a retrograde period, so use this slowing down energetic to your advantage. Slow down, celebrate your achievements. Then set your new moon wishes and dare to ask for everything that you want and desire with a passion. And then go and have some fun and enjoy the day. I would also add, remember that the energy is primed for healing. So if there are any blocks within you or anything going on for you that is in the way of your manifestations, I would be asking for healing, transformation, and the way to be cleared. Now, as I mentioned right at the start of the video, we do have a void of course period. This is actually on the 5th, and it's when the moon moves from Leo into Virgo. It's a 6-hour void of course period, and I simply voice it in terms of kind of suggesting that you notice it and notice how the energy affects you. If you're raring to go, this could leave you feeling liberated, unencumbered, and able to really use this energy to move things forwards. But actually, if you've got a lot going on and you feel a bit ungrounded, you might find that you need to kind of just relax, take some time out as best you can, get still, and sort of see it through. So just be aware that this follows the new moon energy. The moon then moves into her waxing crescent moon phase. This is from August the 5th, when we have that void of course period, through to the 11th. She passes through Leo into Virgo, Libra, and then into Scorpio. Now, during this moon phase, the energy is not just flowing, but it also looks to gain traction, and it looks fast. Bearing in mind that Mercury is now in retrograde, if anything is feeling a little discordant, particularly around the 7th or 8th, because it's a bit spiky on those days, then slow it down a little. You may just be moving too fast too soon, but don't be deterred, because the overall forward motion of this period is looking really good. So simply listen and be responsive, and then continue on your way. The dynamics are strong. On the 9th, the lunar influence suggests that the universe could be opening doors unexpectedly, with the potential for signs, for signals, and synchronicities. So if these are prevalent, or potentially going to be prevalent, be observant. On the 11th, just before the first quarter moon, we see a much stronger element of emotional energy arriving. So again, if you need to, pause rather than push. Be responsive rather than reactive. On August the 12th, the moon reaches her first quarter phase. This is in Scorpio. Now, the overall flavour of this first quarter moon is actually quite bold and courageous, and it's really encouraging you to have your voice. Even if your opinions make you stand out in the crowd, this energy is loaded with fabulousness. However, if anything in your world is genuinely requiring tact and diplomacy, then approaching the day with conscious awareness of this influence is going to be a major bonus for you in any important conversations or negotiations. The Mercury retrograde energy, which calls for a less goal-orientated perspective, really reinforces this. The moon then moves into her waxing gibbous phase from August the 13th through to the 18th. She's going to pass through Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, and then into Aquarius. During this waxing gibbous moon phase, we do see some really intense dynamics taking place. I spoke about this before. And although there are many positives in the overall energy, I think we would be extremely foolish to rule out the potential impact of the more discordant energies. I think the key to navigating this period is to try not to place too many expectations on either yourself or others, and to the best of your ability, just let things unfold. On the one hand, a degree of friction can sometimes bring clarity and help us to gain traction, and this can feel very fruitful and very beneficial. On the other hand, if you find yourself feeling as though you are encountering a series of blocks and obstacles, and all you really desire is a gentle and steady pace of life, I would suggest removing all pressure as best you can, batten down the hatches, attend to what is necessary, and leave anything else for another time when the overall dynamics are more fluent. We then have an incredibly dynamic full moon on August the 19th or 20th, depending on where you are on our beautiful planet. Let me bring up the timings for you. This is a full moon in Aquarius. Now, the reason I'm bringing the timings up is so that you can gauge actually the sort of the peak intensity. I often find around a full moon that it's a build up that I really, really notice. And then at that peak of intensity, there is a kind of a shift. We also have a void of course moon, when the moon then moves from Aquarius into Pisces. Now this is only a 4-hour void of course moon, but you may really feel the impact of it, simply because the dynamics of this full moon in Aquarius are so full on. Now, Mercury is in full retrograde motion now at this point, sitting with the Sun, and there are some very strong, potentially discordant influences taking place, and they are all added to with the lunar influence. The kind of energy that often shows up around an Aquarian full moon relates to friendships and networking, innovation, different ways of seeing things, as well as bringing a heightened awareness of your spiritual tools. So looking at the overall astro energy today and with the Aquarian influence in mind, if you find yourself needing to hold the higher ground in any conversations or communications or relationships, then do so with dignity and respect. This is definitely a day when integrity will win the day. And if your schedule allows, take the opportunity to meditate into a space of possibility. This is actually an amazing moon time to connect fully with your higher self and receive guidance that will lead to new levels of personal consciousness. In fact, that's probably the very best way to use this very dynamic full-on energy. The moon then moves into her disseminating or waning gibbous moon phase, and this is from August the 20th to the 25th. She will pass through Pisces, Aries and Taurus. Now, expect the unexpected and trust that the universe is holding the bigger picture. This moon phase has an underlying energetic of some really quite discordant energy, very strong, very intense, and the lunar influence is particularly strong on the 21st and the 22nd, sort of adding weight to what is already there, with the potential to expand these discordant dynamics. Now, as spiritual warriors, we know there is a higher purpose to everything. And so during this particularly potentially intense time, if any areas of unease or conflict come to light, they will actually be arriving to assist with understanding. On the 23rd, our beautiful moon actually softens the overall dynamics, promoting healing and resolution. And from the 24th onwards, the lunar influence then plays a key role in counterbalancing what has been feeling potentially quite impetuous and very intense. On August the 26th, the moon reaches her last quarter position in Gemini. This last quarter moon heralds a significant shift in the overall intensity of the astrodynamics of the last moon phase. So yay, let's celebrate. It feels as though we can all finally come up for air. If everything in your world is going well, then the wonderful influence of Gemini helping you to see every situation from all angles will assist you in staying on track with even greater clarity. But if any areas of your world have been feeling very uneasy or discordant, the lunar influence today will assist you in just forming new perspectives and viewpoints that enable you to move forwards with renewed clarity. This really is lovely. The moon then moves into her balsamic moon or waning crescent moon phase from August the 27th to September the 2nd. She will pass through Gemini, Cancer, Leo and into Virgo. Now this moon phase begins with an energetic that invites perseverance through realistic perspectives and self-control. On the 28th, Mercury stations direct, creating a moment of natural pause. And we will see a distinct dynamic that day that emphasises relationships, bringing all who are nearest and dearest to you into focus. The lunar influence then suggests a steady flow of energy, which then strengthens in intensity as we enter September. And this coincides with Uranus stationing direct as well, bringing a distinctly emotional undertone actually on the 1st and the 2nd of the new month. We then reach the new moon in September, and the new moon month on September the 2nd or the 3rd, depending on where you are on our beautiful planet. This will be in Virgo. And I will, of course, then be doing another moon month energy update with all of the information. Moon Magic Super Souls, I hope that that was actually helpful for you. I always feel for myself, having an awareness of the incoming energy, particularly if it's going to be quite intense, is really, really helpful. And I personally do check in if things feel like they're a little bit hectic. I actually do check in with the overall flow of energy, just to kind of anchor myself, ground myself, give myself a check-in on what's going on, recognize that there are influences that are taking place that are part of a much bigger picture. It really does help me to sometimes to know when I just need to perhaps have a site meeting with myself and knuckle down, but also sometimes to know when to just get still, to take some time out, to become an observer of what's going on rather than engage with it. So I really hope that this incoming energy update is valuable and helpful for you. Beautiful souls, let's now look at the cards and the runes that were drawn for this period, because they're very insightful in terms of assisting us to sort of get a flavour of what might be showing up in our lives and how we might be navigating those kind of energies and those kind of circumstances, situations, relationships, situationships. Okay, beautiful souls, these are the cards and the runes that were drawn in the Manifest with the Moon Astro-Moon diary for this year, for this particular period. Now, if you think about what we've just been talking about, if you've been checking in with that energy update, the flow of lunar energy, and the very essence of what this moon month begins with, the new moon in August. This is big, bold, confident, but it's also a moon where the dynamics are all about healing, transformation, creating shifts. We're in the Lion's Gate portal. We are in a space where this new moon sits opposite Chariklo. She's a soul midwife. We have the tribal law, the clan moon mother, she who heals. We have the Celtic information from the tree of holly, also about transitions, about soul evolution. So I want to say, let's just listen to this card. Let go gracefully. If something in your life, well, in fact, it says something in your life is calling for you to let it go. Let go gracefully. Whatever has taken place in the past, it is time to move forwards, and letting go will make way for the new. Whether this is a person, a situation, an outdated thought or behavior pattern, this card comes to assure you that new horizons are waiting for you. So this feels so relevant to this starting point, and also connected to the idea that we can set our wishes and intentions not only of the things that we want, but also of almost a wish to remove the things that we don't want that are in the way. You know, if your first new moon wish is, you know, I wish to have any internal blocks or hindrances removed, then your next sort of wish is going to be, and I wish for something, perhaps the energy to persevere or the guidance to persevere. You've kind of removed the obstacle first, which means the way is then clear for the second wish to be responded to. Now, the rune of the spiritual warrior, Tewaz, this is a very dynamic, decisive energy. It's about making clear-cut decisions. It's about discernment, cutting away the old, letting go of things that no longer serve. So these cards are very powerfully in alignment and in tune with the energy that we are really seeing through this moon month, initiated by the new moon. Persevere is fabulous here, because our second card says, who would have thought that a humble acorn could grow into a mighty oak tree? But of course this takes time. Whatever you are involved in, this card brings a message of reassurance. Your hard work and continued effort and dedication will come to fruition. You are asked to persevere and to trust. Now this is sitting with Fehu, the rune of possessions, of nourishment. So we are called to nourish the things that we wish to manifest. It also speaks of unexpected rewards, surprises, gains. Now, as we went through that incoming energy, there's a particular moon phase where I literally said, expect the unexpected. Now, if you are letting go appropriately, you're releasing, cleansing stuff systematically. If stuff is showing up, the layers are being peeled back and you're actually literally letting go gracefully, being really discerning. And simultaneously, you're persevering and taking actual actions towards the things you want to manifest. Then this is suggesting that actually exactly what you need is going to come along to support you. It may come in ways that are unexpected. It may come in a different shape or form to what you had thought might happen, but it really does suggest that what you need will arrive. And because of the retrograde energy that is around, it may come in it may take you in a slightly different direction, or you might find yourself going in a different route. But it's being shown with higher purpose. Trust the universe. This is the next card. This card says, sometimes we can strive relentlessly to make something happen and then experience huge disappointment when our efforts do not work out. Whilst action on our part is required, if we are too determined to stay on one course only, we inadvertently block ourselves from the guidance and direction that the universe is trying to bring to us. This is a time to trust and let things happen. So this is all about what I would call co-creative manifestation, where you do take actions, but you are responsive rather than reactive. And you are sort of actively working in a way that isn't too dogmatic or too fixed on the way you think it needs to happen. This is really about working in alignment with the universe. The overall energy this month is primed for exactly this. Letting go gracefully, persevering, staying on track, but also allowing yourself to meander if the universe takes you in that direction. We have the rune of Awaz, defense, boundaries, boundaries, boundaries. Trust and allow yourself to kind of flow. This rune sometimes speaks of the challenges and the difficulties we face when we begin a new phase of life or a new period or a new chapter, that there are sort of some stumbling blocks, some hiccups, some things that we need to sort of step over and address, but they're there in order to give us a greater and more solid foundation, to create a clear pathway, because we've crossed the T's, we've dotted the I's. Now, I think this final card is fascinating. It's the card of lack. And I think there's a real acknowledgement that along the way in this moon month, there will be times to pause and reflect. And again, notice what is taking place within you, your internal attitudes, your internal dialogue. This is the rune of thiis, gateway. Gateway is about pressing the pause button and reflecting, taking stillness breaks as you navigate what at times could be quite an intense month, fast moving and yet with retrograde energy, which causes us to need to reflect. So this card says, leading a spiritual life does not mean living in lack. This card asks you to release any underlying beliefs that you may hold regarding entitlement and worthiness that may be blocking your ability to receive. When you have an abundance of wealth, both inner and outer, you will have an abundance to give and to share with others. This is really about building your confidence, removing anything that is in the way of you, being able to receive and manifest the things that you really desire. I think going back to that starting point of the new moon in Leo and the Lionsgate portal, that new moon in Leo is big, bold, courageous. Be confident, claim what you desire, and then be prepared to take the actions needed both internally and externally to actually make that possible. Press the pause button if the pace of life this moon month is feeling too fast. Rather than feeling like you're going to be thrown off the merry-go-round, put the brakes on, stop, pause, get off, smell the roses, get still, notice. The rune of gateway suggests a distinct opportunity to step from sort of one energetic into another, to move yourself forward, to transition. Think of all that energy around transformation, around soul evolution, around letting go of things that no longer work and moving forwards and embracing the potential of the future yet to come, and you playing an active part in this. I think these cards, I mean, they blow me away every month actually, that the cards are so aligned with the energy. When I write the diary, I literally do just shuffle the pack and draw the cards each month and the runes. And I always, of course, like any reading, just trust we will be given the guidance we need. And every time the information they bring is perfectly aligned with the overall flow of energy and how best to handle it. So, beautiful souls. Let's move on and draw cards and runes for every zodiac sign. Let's do your all zodiac sign readings. And as always, there will be bigger extended readings that will be on Patreon, which is a community based on donations, and also in the YouTube membership area here on YouTube as well. And we will do a deep dive in those extended readings and look at various different areas within your world. Beautiful souls, tons and tons of love, and I will see you in the readings in just a moment. Hey Aries, welcome to your readings. Let's have a look and see what is happening to you in August for this moon month. Now, we know the energy is, I don't know, pretty fast paced potentially. That may really well sit with you, with your fire and your passion. However, it depends what's going on in your world. Simultaneously, alongside the fast-paced dynamic energy that's coming in, we also do have a lot of planets in retrograde. So I'm going to draw you an angel card. This is your first card, Angel of Inspiration. Now that is an interesting first card to be drawing. I'm also going to draw your tarot cards from a really lovely, this is the Quirky Tarot, just a really buoyant, joyous, chirpy pack of cards. I feel this is really right for the current energy. May we ask for information and guidance for my beautiful Aries for this coming moon month. I will, of course, be doing extended readings, and actually in your extended readings today, here I am saying this right at the start, I should leave it till the end really, but it's coming through now just to say I'm actually going to be drawing cards around your higher purpose, your calling, as well as sort of more details around perhaps relationships, money, career, finances. But there's a real powerful energy coming in about your calling. The extended readings are available on Patreon and in the YouTube membership area here as well. Now, wow, you have the Death card. You have the Page of Swords, you have the Five of Pentacles, and you have the Page of Pentacles. Okay. Angel of Inspiration. I do feel that you may, this moon month, kind of make a decision about something. Hungry, homeless, help. Page of Pentacles. This is really interesting. I feel with the Page of Swords as well, like you're going to, I feel like you'll make some really clear-cut choices, actually, Aries, in your world. You're actually going to know what to do. I feel there will be some potential discernment, a knuckling down to something. I think both you may well get the help that you need. You may also choose to be quite clear-cut around any elements of your life that are unhelpful. That's what's really coming through here. Let me draw your runes. We have Hagelas and the rune of defense as well, Awaz. We have the breakthrough point, yeah, absolutely. This is what's really coming through in that energy. We have the rune of signs, of signals, Anzus, and we also have the rune of journey, Rado. I think you're going to remove some obstacles that are in your way, my lovely Aries. It's like you're you're rebirthing, you're transforming, you're regenerating in some way. Regeneration is not perhaps quite the right energy. But the flow of energy around you for this moon month, really in terms of where you're at, which is what these readings are all about. I feel you are going to be really quite clear-cut about almost like what you can do and what you can't do. I think it's going to be busy. I think the energy is going to be fast-paced. I think the retrograde energy is going to be showing you where to invest and where not to. So this is not a month without disruption, my lovely Aries. But the disruption, interestingly enough, I think it's more about you. It's more about you recognizing that you've either had enough of something, so choosing what you welcome into your life, choosing where you invest your energy, learning from experiences. I feel there's a higher level of awareness going on here where you recognize who you want in your world, what you want in your world. But clear-cut decisions, breakthrough moments about what you're prepared to kind of tolerate, what you'll sit with and what you won't sit with, what you'll allow and what you won't allow. There's quite a sense of agency here. But I'm seeing you removing, in many ways, obstacles. Removing things from your life, people from your life that no longer serve you, which is very much in tune with the overall flow of energy in the cards and the runes that we were just looking at. I feel you are very much in alignment with that. Of course, Neptune is just sitting right on the cusp of your sign, Aries. Neptune in retrograde is sitting on that cusp of Pisces and Aries. Neptune coming into your sign is really going to open you to massive spiritual downloads, and this is going to be going on for a long time. I mean, Neptune is a very slow moving planet. I feel that you're in that energy already. You may already be finding that your tolerance to certain things is wearing thin, and that you are feeling like you need to be a bit more clear-cut, a bit more boundaried around certain people and certain situations. And what I want to say, Aries, is it's no bad thing. Everything that's showing up around the area of boundaries, of discernment, of what is working, what isn't, what is boosting your energy and your inspiration, and what is depleting your energy and your inspiration. I think you're going to move into a zone where you get quite a lot of clarity around this, actually. There may be reflection involved, which fits with the retrograde energy, but also discernment, because I think things could come in quite hard and fast, and I think you'll have to be quite clear-cut. But if you can hold in mind the fact that everything that's arriving is arriving as a sign to help you to develop that discernment, so that you can keep your focus where it needs to be, without your energy or your focus, or indeed, when I say energy, that could be your emotional energy, it could be your psychological focus, the focus of your mind, where you place your attention, whether you're around people who drain you or support you. I feel this is the flavour of your month, my beautiful Aries. But I think a lot of discernment taking place, which leads to transformation and empowerment, really. Really, I think stuff that maybe you've tolerated up until now, you won't tolerate anymore. Sort of by necessity as well. I can't help feeling that circumstances will be going on around you that create exactly this sort of setting, whereby you do need to lean into your own empowerment around your boundaries, around where you place your focus. This will include you as well. If your mind wanders into a bad neighborhood, you're going to call yourself into check and bring yourself back. If your mind is wandering, or indeed you're in your own physicality, you're around people that are not healthy, not right, I think it's really going to be heightened, but with purpose. Aries, this is the energy, this is the key message for you for this moon month. Keep us posted, let us know how it emerges. I'm literally going to move straight into the extended readings. I feel it's appropriate to do so. I'm not even going to put these cards away. I'm actually going to just draw cards straight on top of these. In the extendeds, we'll look at your calling and your purpose and the higher connectedness to this. Beautiful souls, you are very welcome to join me on the extendeds if you wish, either on Patreon or here in the Moon Magic membership area of YouTube. I do the extras because those who are donating and giving on those platforms are actually giving a lot of support to my, effectively they are subsidising and making my free online library possible, well, for it literally to be free and available to anyone that needs to use it at any time. It's a resource that is absolutely there for anyone. It's about psychology, emotions. So this is my way of giving an extra thank you back to those people. But thank you, all of you, whether you are on Patreon or in the membership area, or whether you are here and part of the Moon Magic Tarot community. It is an honour and a privilege to be here and be connected with you all. Tons of love, my beautiful Aries. Taurus, welcome to your moon month readings. Let's have a look and see what is happening here. Angel of past issues. Okay, so this is your first card. I'm drawing an angel card, and I'm also going to dive straight into a very lovely quirky tarot pack, which is very chirpy and cheerful and gorgeous, which feels very right for the kind of energy of this moon month. I'm seeing these 3 cards for you, and also that one there. May draw another as well, and we'll draw some runes too. Let's have a look and see what we are shown. So you have 7 of Swords. Okay, we have the card of the Fool. We have the 7 of Wands. We have the 5 of Cups and the 2 of Wands. Okay, let me move these along a little bit so we've got room for everything here for you, my beautiful, beautiful Tauruses. Okay, Taurus, I feel like a conflict is going to come to an end. I think it's going to come to a head first, and then it's going to come to an end, as in there'll be a new opportunity, a new beginning. I'm really, really sorry that the conflict is here, but it is. I'm seeing there's a conflict, to be honest, with someone. I'm not sure what context of your world this is in, but it's been lingering for a while. This is not new, okay? It's either something that's popped back up, or it was something that you thought you'd sorted, or it's dragged on, or you gave it a second chance and a third chance and a fourth chance and a fifth chance, or a sixth or a seventh, but somehow it just never kind of ever got fixed, or somebody's just come back up and done the same again. But I'm seeing this come to a head, and there is absolutely a new beginning. I'm seeing you kind of actually step up. I think that there's a process to go through with this. It feels as though it's quite dominant in your world, quite uppermost in your mind, in your world. And of course, sometimes when people are, behave in a way that's really disappointing, it's a bummer. But, my lovely Tauruses, you've kind of got to process it, to move beyond it. And what feels really good here is that there is actually going to be a clear-cut new beginning. Even if you would have really liked to have worked it through with that person, or worked that situation through, relationship, situationship, what I see is, and you do have to process the emotion of it. When somebody is disappointing or something is disappointing, even when we make a clear-cut choice and something else comes along, and I do see something else coming along, it's not just a choosing to walk away. I think something else comes along that gives you a real space of looking to the future, a real space of new horizons. So I think something is actually coming in that is the thing that would be the opposite of what you haven't had, if that makes sense. So whatever hasn't worked, or whoever hasn't worked, we're seeing something of you being able to look forward here. Draw some runes. Okay, 3 runes, just 3. Not that that's an indication of anything wrong, but sometimes we get more. You have Isa, the rune of ice. You have the blank rune, and you've got the rune of the self. Okay. Now these 3 runes for me are very interesting, because this is telling me that something that was stuck not moving forwards, not happening, a pain in the butt, just not happening, but kind of quite a lot of, I feel like it gave you a lot of angst. It made choices really difficult. You've been trying to work out what to do about it, going over and over and over it. For some of you, really genuinely going back, trying to fix it again and again. Well, actually, I think this is the point when we see a shift to a space of new potential, new possibilities. There's a clear-cut new beginning here. A very big choice, I think, with the Seven of Wands here, where you sort of say, do you know what? This is really disappointing, but I can't linger with this anymore. I can't allow this to continue to hold me back. And this is the real shift, actually, for you here. Two of Wands looking forwards. I am actually just going to draw a couple more cards for you, beautiful souls. I want to just get a flavour around the Two of Wands of anything else that's coming in for you to assist you with this. I will, of course, be doing extended readings. The extended readings, I do them every month for the people who are in my Patreon community, where this works on donations, and also as well as my Patreon community, the YouTube membership area here. The donations, your extra donations to those of you who are on those in those additional platforms, you know, you are funding my free online library and you're helping many, many people. So if you are new to me or my channel, it's my way of giving back to those people who are already giving and supporting so many through their extra donations. But I do, of course, do these readings here on YouTube as well. So we are asking, what is this Two of Wands about? I'm seeing those three cards. Yeah. In those extended readings, I'm actually going to look at your calling, your higher purpose, because there's a real energy of that around. So we have got the Eight of Pentacles coming in. We've got the King of Swords. And we've got the Four of Swords. Okay, let's shift these cards up a little bit. Put your angel down here. Put these up here. Move all your cards around, but that's cool because I'm going to go straight into the extendeds and keep these cards out today. We're just literally going to build upon what we have already. We have Isa, we have the blank rune, we have the rune of the South, Manas. Right. We are seeing a progression here. Something that was stuck. I think you just make a clear-cut choice, actually. I think you're quite philosophical about it, quite honestly. I just think you reach a point where, for you, you're not really going to linger with this anymore. You're ready to move on from it and start afresh. You know that the energy is around you. I think you make some you really just do choose to not allow it to dominate your world anymore, whatever it is. I mean, it's something that's been going on, and I think you make some clear-cut choices. You don't allow it to linger in your mind anymore. And I feel like it's really appropriate that you're doing that. It's like you are saying, I'm going to take charge of my world. I'm not going to allow you or your energy or your attitudes or your, you know, the disappointment, you know, that you deliver. I'm not going to allow it to bother me anymore. And I think you reach a really solid place in this, actually, which feels really purposeful because it clears the way for you to then be moving forwards. There's a very distinct energy around, very much actually in alignment with the cards that were drawn, the cards and the runes for the overall moon month. Taurus, I think I'm going to move into the extended readings, really. I'll draw more cards around the higher purpose of this, see what messages come through. We'll look at your career pathway, money, finances, that kind of stuff, and also the people around you, relationships. Beautiful souls, you're welcome to join me if you wish, but thank you so much, all of you, for being here and being a part of the Moon Magic Tarot channel. It's a real honour to read for you. This feels like it's really important, Taurus, because I feel it's been lingering for too long. And what a joyous shift to a space where it's almost like you're no longer affected by it here. you find your peace with this, and that is an absolute blessing. It really, really is. Beautiful Taurus, tons of love. You're welcome to join me for the extendeds if you wish. If you're already on Patreon and in the membership area of YouTube, I will see you in just a moment. And beautiful souls, just thank you so much for being here and being a part of the Moon Magic Tarot community. Tons of love, Taurus. Hey, lovely Geminis, welcome to your monthly readings, your moon month. Wow, you have Angel of Success. So for you today, I am drawing an angel card, and yours is this one. Wow. And I'm going to use a really, really cheerful little tarot pack. The quirky tarot seems very fitting with kind of the big energy that's around. So Angel of Success, card number 31. We see these three coming up for you, and also these two. Let's see what we're shown for my beautiful, beautiful Geminis. So we have 7 of Pentacles. Okay. Choices, choices, decisions, decisions. We have the Hanged Man. We have the 8 of Pentacles. Oh, we have the Hermit. And we have the Ace of, gosh, the Ace of, no wonder you've got the Angel of Success. Okay, let me see if I can just move this. Where shall I put this? I'm going to put this down here, actually. That's what we'll do. Let's move your cards along for a moment. Now, this is quite something, actually. Something that you do maybe, or as a hobby, or something you've wanted to follow as a career pathway. Something that you have debated whether to follow through with it, whether to really invest in it, really whether to give it your time. I think this is the point where you either make a decision and you do decide you're going to go with it, you're going to run with it, you're going to take it forwards, or, my beautiful souls, something you have already started working on. Actually, suddenly it comes to fruition. You see some results. It's like someone contacts you. Let's say you're an artist and you've been painting for years. It's been your hobby, but it's your passion and you'd love to make it a career. It would be like suddenly that takes off. Suddenly, you know, somebody offers you an exhibition and, you know, off you go, and people reward you for it. You start to sell straight away. There's something here that comes, that you can follow it through. Yes, there's work to do, but it's something you have wondered whether it would be worthy of the investment, whether it would actually come to fruition, whether it was worth doing. And you either take the first steps to make this possible and you see immediate results, or something you've already been investing in that kind of way. Literally, you start to see the results. You start to see your work pays off, basically. Angel of Success. This is absolutely wonderful. I'm really thrilled for you, Gemini. This looks really, really good. A really good moon month, really, really good energy for you. Very interesting, because Mars is in your sign during this moon month, so we can expect to see some quite fast moving communications coming in. So I'm not in a way surprised that your actions can come to fruition despite the retrograde energy, but in a way the retrograde energy could also mean that something you have been investing in the past starts to pay off, and you see it paying off. I think you've often wondered whether this would ever really work, whether it would ever really come to fruition, whether this was actually worth your while, or indeed, if you're thinking about doing it, whether it would pay. And I think it will. I think you're going to see results actually pretty quickly. You're going to see potential, but in real terms. Let's draw some readings for you. I'm loving the energy of your moon month, actually, Gemini. I really am. It's great. It's really great. We have the rune of Rado, Journey. We have Othilla, Separation. We have Perth, the rune of Initiation. We have, look at this, Rado, the rune of Joy. Sorry, Wunjo rather, the rune of Joy. Rado, the rune of Journey. This is amazing. Gemini, it's a really good month for you. Now, given that we know the energy can be quite intense and quite punchy, for you it feels punchy and intense in the best possible way. Basically something that you've either invested in it or you want to, like making a hobby, a career, but you choose to do it, or you have chosen to do it, and bingo, success comes in. This is gorgeous. It's like kind of almost like an obstacle is removed to your progress. With Othilla, this can relate to real property, like real estate. So if any of you have been stuck in some kind of process of trying to move house, for example, then I think this is the month when it happens. Or you've been applying for finance, maybe to buy your first house, or, you know, something happens, it comes to you to make this possible. Something is coming to you that brings some potential into real terms, literally success. The rune of joy. Wow, Gemini, this is a stunning month. I mean, really, really, it looks good. It looks really good for you. I love that it's something that you've questioned whether it would come to fruition. I love that you've questioned whether this would really kind of work, and suddenly it's like, there it is, you get results, you get success, and you kind of know it was worth it. Or somebody offers you success, a bit like, somebody offers you an exhibition, you're a painter, and you've been wondering whether to take that forward or not. You get the success, it's amazing. You get the recognition, you get the reward. You get the new beginning, because it is a new beginning, even if it's a something you've already invested in. I think this is something you're already very good at. I don't think the something is new to you. It's that you can do something with the something that's new to you, that it takes off. This is absolutely delightful. It really is. I sort of almost feel I don't know what else to ask about your reading. It just feels like a great month when this is happening. I'm going to, in a moment, I think, move to the extended readings. What I'm doing in the extended readings today is I'm actually going to ask about your calling, the higher purpose of what's going on, because the energy at the moment is very much about opening windows of opportunity. So I'll be asking about the higher purpose, the calling. I'll be looking at career, money, finances, that kind of stuff, and also relationships as well, of all sorts, and see what's happening. But my lovely Geminis, let's just draw a couple more cards just to see if we can be shown anything else around what's happening, beyond the fact that it looks absolutely wonderful for you. It really looks like a really fruitful time for you. We have the Eight of Swords and the Six of Swords. How interesting. Yeah, so something that you felt was either denied to you or you couldn't see. It is back to something that felt stuck, or something that you've questioned. Would it ever work? Is it worth bothering with? Is this ever going to be okay? I think it arrives at okayness, to be quite honest with you. Yeah, very interesting. It's freeing you as well, this opportunity. Now, for some of you, you could actually be going on a journey. Okay, you could actually be leaving something behind. You could go on a journey, you could be moving, relocating, if any of you are relocating. The essence of something that was stuck moves forwards, and it does move forwards with success. You could relocate. You're definitely moving towards something and you're leaving a feeling of being trapped or limited or hindered or held back or stuck behind. This is the energy that we're seeing here. I'm loving this. It's so in alignment with the astrological happenings. Well, Gemini, wow, and more wow. This just feels buoyant, fabulous, and like the end of a period of stuckness, concern, anxiety, fear. It's the end of a period of that, with new opportunities in real terms, like literally stuff of substance coming into your world. So Gemini, I'm going to move to the extended readings. I'm not going to clear any of the cards away. I'm just going to work straight away with what we've got. You are really, really welcome to join me to look at your higher purpose, what's going on, what's the bigger picture, and to look at money, career, finances, and maybe also, well, we will also look at relationships across the board. Beautiful souls, whether you join me on Patreon or the YouTube community here, the YouTube membership area, thank you for being here. It is an absolute joy and a blessing to read for you. I'm very, very grateful for all of you being part of the Moon Magic Tarot community here. It is amazing to be reading for you, and I'm thrilled to be sitting in what feels like such a good month for you, Gemini, and I think much, much deserved. Actually, I think you've probably had to work very hard to get to this kind of point of turn. Gemini, tons of love, and I look forward to seeing you either in another reading here on YouTube or in the extended. Tons of love. Beautiful Cancer, welcome to your moon month reading. You have the Angel of Wisdom. This is your first card. Wonderful. And let's draw your tarot cards. You have these three, and I'm hearing a card on the base of the pack as well. Let's have a look and see what we have. I've chosen the quirky tarot today. They're very punchy and fun, actually, these cards, and I feel that's really right with the kind of energy that's around. So we've got Angel of Wisdom, Page of Swords, Five of Cups, Ace of Pentacles, and Seven of Pentacles. Okay. Okay. My lovely Cancers, let me draw your runes as well. Gosh, you've got loads of runes. Tons of runes. Okay, so we have Manas, the rune of the self. We have the rune of harvest, Jira. We have the rune of joy. Fantastic. Let's move these up. Now, well, to be fair, I'll leave them just here for the moment. We have the rune of Othilla, separation. We have the rune of Suelo, wholeness. This is beginning to make sense to me. And you have the blank rune. Okay. Okay. I feel, lovely Cancers, that this is a moon month when you actually have to make possibly, I'd venture to say, quite a significant choice. Okay. Now, in truth, I think there is only one way to go with Suelo, the rune of wholeness. There is actually only one pathway. There's only really one answer to the problem. It may not appear that there's one answer, more than one answer, but I think there is. I think in a way, especially with the Ace of Pentacles, there's actually a very, very clear decision to make. And it will be very fruitful. We've got the rune of harvest. This is one of those scenarios where ultimately only you can make the choice. I think probably right at the beginning of this moon month, you will already know what I'm talking about. I'm going to draw some more cards for you in just a moment. Let me move these up. I think most of you will know what that choice relates to in your world. And I don't think it's as difficult a choice as you think it will be. The challenge here really is that I think it sort of means there is only one way to go, and it's the right choice for you. It's full of potential, it's full of possibility. It will make you very happy with the rune of joy. It will be the harvest that you desire. It may not come to fruition immediately, but it's like making a choice that sets things, it's like it gets the ball rolling here. And at some point in the future, you'll live with the outcome of this choice. That's what's coming through with your reading. Now, I think you probably know what that choice is. I think you're possibly worried about it simply because it's always tricky when we look at choices in the now and we think, well, how will it be in the future? There's reassurance here that there really is only one pathway to go down. And I think you probably know what it is. So there's a lot of reassurance coming in for you, Angel of Wisdom. There's a sort of a wise choice. And what, you know, I don't know that you, yeah, I feel like this is about getting the ball rolling in some way, shape or form. It's actually loaded with possibility. It's the right choice for the future, it really is. But the challenge around it means that I think you acknowledge that at some point you'll be leaving something behind. And I think that's the difficulty that you're facing. It's more the dilemma around it than almost the eventual outcome. It's the build-up, you know, when we have to make a decision and we think, you know, but what if this and what if that? But actually, there is only one pathway to go. So this is quite interesting. I will draw some more cards for you, lovely Cancers. I will be doing extended readings as always. They are on Patreon and in the membership area here on YouTube. I'm going to be drawing cards actually in these readings today about the kind of higher purpose, because it's very much the energy that's around us. What's the bigger picture, the higher purpose? And also then kind of relate that to more cards. We'll draw cards around career moves, money, finances, that kind, you know, anything that's affecting your world in that way, and then also connections with people and relationships. Let's draw cards, more cards. Maybe ask for a little bit more guidance or information around this decision, this choice. Okay, the Hanged Man. Okay, so it's a tricky one. It's quite hard to choose. Oops. Okay. Judgment. Ace of Swords and the Star. Okay, very clear cards. So, beautiful souls, lovely Cancers. Even though you are reticent to make the choice, I think in many ways, at some point, I mean, and what your reading is sort of saying is, look, you know, this will follow through at a later date. It is like getting the ball rolling. But I think what's happening in this moon month is that there is a point when the ball has to be got rolling. You do have to make that sort of decision, even though the actions will, I think, take time with Jira, the rune of harvest. I mean, this rune sometimes speaks of a period of a year. You know, something has to emerge, it has to grow. But it's worth sowing the seed. Whatever anxiety or reticence you've got around it, I think events are going to be such this moon month that you'll have to kind of reach a point where you kind of need to make that call in some way, shape or form, and make that clear-cut choice. But the moment you make it, you'll know it was the right one. With the Star, you know, when you just feel it, you know it. It's like, do you know what? I'm so glad I did that. As opposed to being in the build-up where you're worrying about which way it will go or how it will work out or what it'll be like. The moment you make the choice, you'll feel good about it. You'll know it was the right choice to make. You know, so I'm feeling very reassured for you, interestingly enough. And I think most of you will know what this is about in the context of your own unique worlds. Cancers, I'm going to dive into the extended readings. You're very welcome to join me. I'll look at the higher purpose. What's the bigger picture going on here first? And I'm not even going to move the cards away. I'm just going to literally build upon the reading that we have here. You're welcome to join me on either Patreon or in the membership area. I'll look at career, money, finances, that kind of stuff, and also relationships and people, and just generally really look at those different areas of your world, along with this higher purpose. What's the bigger picture? What's going on? Beautiful Cancers, you're welcome to join me on those platforms if you wish. But thank you so much just for being here. I greatly appreciate you being here. It is an absolute privilege to read for you. Thank you so much for joining me for these readings. Tons of love. Hey, beautiful Leo, let's see what you are shown for this moon month. Angel of Inspiration. Okay, beautiful card to start with. Very, very, very punchy kind of energy this moon month. So it's going to be really interesting to see how this is landing with you, beautiful souls. Let's have a look. I'm actually feeling like these, you know, it's a lot of cards, but I'm just going to go with that. I just feel like those are right for you. We have the Nine of Wands. Okay. We have the Five of Pentacles. The Star. Oh, wow, look at this. You've got the Sun, You have the Chariot and you have the Six of Pentacles as well. Let's draw some runes for you too, lovely Leos. You have got the rune of protection, Algiz. You have Rado, the rune of journey. You have Perth, the rune of initiation, and you have also got thiis, the rune of constraint. Let's see, are those going to fit in there okay? I think so. This is very interesting. What are you navigating, my lovely Leos? What are you processing? I want to say take it steady, even though the energy for you, I think, is opening. It's like, I feel like there will be an opening for you. A period of challenge actually may come to an end. Something that you have been looking for and wanting kind of opens up. It's like it arrives, or it's delivered, or the potential for it suddenly comes along. I mean, this could be like a light bulb moment, or it could be something in real terms, like a, you know, a job opportunity, or, you know, something is arriving. Ta-da, here we are. However, it's fast-paced energy, so when it arrives, I sort of almost feel like you're going to be rushed off your feet. You know, when you go from that time when it would be like if you apply for something and you really, really want it, and then you get it, and it's like, wow, you know, your feet don't hit the ground kind of thing. It's got that flavour about it. Something that you've wanted comes along, and it's like, I mean, it's fabulous. It's great. You've got the Six of Pentacles. This is a card of generosity. thiis is interesting, because this is a rune that says cross the T's and dot the I's. You know, when fishermen can't go to sea, they mend their nets. Pay attention to the details. So I sort of feel like you could be rushed off your feet. Something comes that you really want, but you're also being asked to kind of handle it with diligence, actually. Handle it well. It does feel as though a period of challenge, or something you've been striving to get to, suddenly kind of arrives. Like almost like a change in fortune in many ways, with the Five of Pentacles here. Like a ray of hope coming in, a ray of sunshine, something that arrives that helps you to overcome something. So any challenges that are going on in your world, my lovely Leos, and this will be personal to you, obviously. This is a general reading. It will reach many people. But the energy that's coming across, lovely Leos, is any kind of challenge that you may be personally facing. So, I mean, for some of you, I'm hearing a kind of a health issue, or something quite physical, a health issue, or something going on at home. Or it could be finances, or, you know, money, health, finances. Really interesting coming through here. And it's as though a challenge that you're facing, you do kind of overcome it. It's a bit like the light at the end of the tunnel, interestingly enough. It's a shift, really, a very big shift in, I think, in something that's quite solid and quite real. There's a shift in your experience of it, but it does feel like quite a shift. So if you were struggling with health issues, for example, it would kind of be like coming through and out the other side. You start to get some energy back. Really hearing it's quite a specific message, really, but I dare say it's for some of you, and clearly it won't be for all. But if any of you have had any kind of like post-COVID symptoms, if you've been struggling with fatigue, or any kind of fatigue or difficulty in focusing, it's a very specific message for some. But it's kind of like you turn a corner. Something that's been feeling like you've been lacking. So lacking in energy, or lacking in support, or just feeling, I feel like some of you have been almost like there's been something around you where you've been kind of wading through treacle a bit, or it's just felt like it's been heavy going. And I think that challenge is almost that period of challenges coming to an end. We've got a card of generosity here, a gift being given to you. This could be a metaphorical gift, so it could be energy being gifted, your health returning, or it could be an actual gift. But it does, there's a very distinct change in circumstances, possibly around the middle of the moon month, actually, my lovely Leos, because it could almost come right down the reading and sort of split it in two. Nine of Wands, Five of Pentacles, the Chariot. You know, this is kind of about overcoming challenges. The Star, the Sun, Six of Pentacles. I mean, this is joyous. This is absolutely fabulous. This is, I mean, just look at the Sun. This is celebration. It's happiness. It's hope. It's optimism. It's generosity. So I almost feel like your moon month could sort of be split in half. If you're facing any challenges in the first half of the month, lovely Leo, I think that providing you cross the T's and dot the I's, pay attention to the details, the challenge will be overcome. The route to the end goal will be shown to you. You'll emerge. You'll come out the other side, and possibly with quite a clearly defined point of turn, I suspect bang in the middle of the month. So it's very interesting the way your cards are kind of speaking, the story's unfolding. Now, lovely Leos, I'm going to be doing extended readings, and in fact I'm going to move to those, I think, in a moment. You know, the really key messages for you this month are very clear. If you're, whatever you may be struggling with, the moment of inspiration, the answer, the solution to the problem will be coming, probably a mid-turn in the middle of the month. Now, I'm going to draw cards in the extended readings around the higher purpose, kind of your calling, your purpose, what's the bigger picture, because that's very much the alignment of the current energy. I'll also be asking very specifically about kind of money, career, finances, you know, the real stuff of your world, and also relationships too. So I'll be drawing those cards in the extended readings. But my lovely Leos, the overall flow of energy for you, I think, is going to be very positive. It may not feel positive for the first half of the moon month. I've simply got to say how I see it, but I do feel that any challenges you're facing will be overcome, and I do see a midpoint turn for you, which is rather lovely. So, beautiful souls, I'm going to move straight into the extended readings and ask about the higher purpose of this. You know, what's the bigger picture? What's going on behind the scenes? Lovely Leos, you're welcome to join me for those readings if you wish. They'll be on Patreon and in the membership area of YouTube. But overall, beautiful souls, I feel that whatever is taking place, a sort of almost like a resolution or a fabulously really positive outcome, you know, an overcoming of something is happening for you. So it actually feels like a lovely shift, even if the first half of the month is a little sticky. I'm seeing a big shift and a change for you. So I'm going to move to those extended readings now. You're welcome to join me if that's resonating with you, and if not, I look forward to seeing you for some other readings here on YouTube really soon. And thank you so much, beautiful Leos, for being here. Tons of love, beautiful souls. Lovely Virgos, welcome to your moon month reading. Let's see what key messages are coming through for you. Oh, your first card really showing itself. Angel of Solitude. Okay, interesting energy to start with. Now, I'm going to use these lovely quirky tarot cards for your reading today. They are very delightful, very fun, very punchy energy, which I think we sort of, I'm seeing these two as well, we sort of need actually for this moon month, because it's a pretty hectic, intense moon month, or periods of it will be. Okay, so you have the Three of Swords. My lovely Virgos, you have the card of Justice. You have the Eight of Wands. You have the Nine of Cups. You then have the Hermit and the King of Swords. Beautiful Virgos, I feel as though there is a coming to terms with something here. Like an acceptance of something. I think that seems to me to be the almost like the key message that's coming through for you immediately. Let's actually draw some readings for you as well. That's really what's coming through for me. That the word coming to terms, the words acceptance. We have Suelo, the rune of wholeness. We have Isa, the rune of ice. We have Awaz, the rune of defense. And we also have Perth, the rune of initiation. It's interesting how certain runes, this is coming up a lot in these readings for this moon month. So there's really seeing a very significant energy of transition, which astrologically I know in a way we were expecting. I think there is something of a coming to terms with something here. And a lot of what I would call internal reflection going on here. That internal reflection, getting your head round something in a good way. I mean, the Nine of Cups is, you know, a lovely card of very sort of contented energy, making a commitment to something. Eight of Wands is moving something forwards. You know, the Three of Swords, even though there's something that has been challenging or heartbreaking or a conflict for you, you know, the time has come here to move forwards from this in a positive way. I feel that, yeah, there's a coming to terms with something, almost as if this is actually what you really do need to do, and as if the universe is going to present you with a set of circumstances that causes you to really pause and reflect and really take stock. It's kind of literally, it's like getting your head round something. I do see something arriving with the Eight of Wands here for you. Something being moved forwards. Maybe even something requires a commitment from you with the Nine of Cups. Something is actually needing you to do something in order to move it forwards. Some action may be required, or definitely some evaluation to bring something back into balance, to bring your perspective on something back into balance, or to see it from a different angle. With the Hermit card and the Angel of Solitude, I sort of feel this is an internal journey. It's an internal journey that reflects then on your external circumstances. For some of you, you may genuinely be making quite a significant move towards something that feels really, really good with the Nine of Cups. At the same time, I think there's some sort of memory of something that wasn't so good that's triggered simultaneously. It reminds me of something, I used to say this to my counselling clients sometimes, that sometimes when we get something we really, really want, and we get this sort of wave of sadness, and you think, well, why am I having a wave of sadness when this is what I really wanted? And the wave of sadness is reminding you of something else that didn't work out. It's a very big part of moving forwards. In fact, in my library, my online library, the A to Z of Emotional Health, which there's a link in the description box that I always put it in there. Now this is a library that is dedicated to emotions, to psychology. It was very much, as I moved away from my mainstream career as a therapist, a psychotherapist, it was very much a sort of a wanting to put information into the world so that people, because knowledge is power. And there is, in the psychology of emotion section of the library, I think it's in, but there's an audio called The Sadness of Moving Forwards. And it's all about this kind of emotional expression, really. This is what happens when we move away from something that wasn't okay and we're getting the very thing that we want. It reminds us of something that didn't work. It reminds us of what we didn't have, as well as embracing what we do. And I feel you're in this really interesting space of movement here. With Suelo, it's a real indication that this is the right pathway for you. This is a real validation, my lovely Virgos. This is the pathway that is right for you. This is the right way to be going. And it's only you with the Angel of Solitude and the Hermit. It's really only you who can make this decision and this choice. Nobody else can make it for you. This is something you need to be coming to terms with, not anyone else. But I do feel you do arrive at an acceptance in some way of this as something else arrives. It's part of the transitionary process of having something that you really want, even though you previously have an experience of something that didn't work out. So I'm seeing it as really valuable. You may find, because the Eight of Wands is quite a fast-paced card, it's got quite fast energy, you may actually find as you navigate the new, which is, you know, something that you feel you really do want, is, you know, the pace looks to be quite intense at times during this moon month, the incoming energy. You might actually find, my lovely Virgos, that you genuinely need to sort of take a bit of time out to reflect, just to sort of anchor yourself and just to notice these sort of emotions and the processing of these emotions. But you really are on track. This reading is really validating that this is the right pathway for you. There's a real strong validation, something that you have possibly wondered about, or that you feel you were either stuck or hesitant about, something maybe you've even felt defensive around. It actually is, now is the right time to be moving it forwards. And I feel events are going to arrive to move things forwards for you. With the Nine of Cups, I often really see this as a sort of a place of acceptance and a sort of a commitment to the new as well. It's a good place to be. It's a really good place to be. What's fascinating is it's a great place to be alongside the memory or the recognition of something else that kind of didn't quite pan out. And so, yes, solitude and reflection, I think, might be a very valuable part of your journey, in order to bring you a clear head in terms of knowing you're getting what you do want rather than what you don't. It almost like, I think it literally does feel like this processing of emotions at an underlying level that free you up so that you can be very, very clear about what you want and how you move it forwards. Very interesting, actually. I think it was the Leo reading, actually, that there was like almost, I felt like the reading divided in half, and I feel the same with you. If you look at this, it's almost as though with this sort of mirroring, but this side of the reading, you know, Justice, the Hermit, big cards, Three of Swords, lots of contemplation, something coming to a head that needs to be moved, you need to move beyond, and lots of reflection and solitude around the emotional content of this. And then the other side of the coin here, things are moving forwards. There's a real sense of something really positive, committing to a positive avenue, a positive direction, and, you know, with great clarity, kind of knowing that this is right, knowing that this is the way to go. So very interesting sort of process and shift. Now, my beautiful Virgos, I think I'm going to move on and do the extended readings. So this is very much the flow of energy for you. You're welcome to join me for the extended readings if you wish, though there is no obligation to do so. And thank you so much to those of you who do. It's actually the donations, that the extended readings are on Patreon and in the YouTube membership area. And it's those extra donations that help to keep my library, the A to Z of Emotional Health, kind of up and running and totally free of charge for anyone who wishes to use it. So, you know, thank you all who are there, and you know, blessings to you all with much, much gratitude. But in the extended, and my extended readings are really just a way of saying thank you to you all. But thank you anyway, irrespective of whether you're part of the Patreon community. You know, thank you for being here, Virgo. It's a great honour to read for you. In the extended readings, what I will be doing is looking at cards that help us to understand the bigger picture, because we're very much in this energy of the Lionsgate portal, of transformation, spiritual downloads, big shifts, big transitions, and these are showing up in all the readings. So I think looking at the bigger picture, you know, is a really, really valuable thing to do. I'll also be drawing cards around money, career, finances, the stuff of your life, and see what guidance and advice and information comes through, and also to do with relationships. You know, this could be, we'll look at friendships, family relationships, and love as well. We'll just see what shows through. But that's what we're going to do in the extended readings. So beautiful Virgos, you're welcome to join me. Either way, thank you so much for being here. It's an honour and a privilege to be connected with you all. Tons of love. Wonderful Libras, beautiful souls. Oh, wow. Let's see what the moon month is bringing for you. Angel of Success. Okay, well, that is a bit wow, isn't it? Okay, so we are drawing an angel card, and then I'm going to draw from the Quirky Tarot, which has got a lovely punchy energy, very vibrant, because this is a very dynamic month. It may not always be easy, but very dynamic. And you are looking good already, Libra. So that's a lovely, lovely card to show up first of all. Let's draw cards for my lovely Libra and find out what kind of key messages I'm going with those. A lot of cards, but let's go with it, my lovely Libras. Let's see what we are shown for you. We have Queen of Swords. Ooh, do you know there is a punchy energy around you, actually? It does feel quite successful, quite happening. We've got Queen of Swords, we've got Page of Swords, quite a lot of determination. We have the High Priestess. Move our runes for a moment. We'll look at those in a moment. We have the World. Okay, we have the Ten of Wands. We have the Six of Swords, and we have the Seven of Pentacles. Okay, lovely Libra. I think you are going to be very successful at completing something, basically. I mean, we've got, so I said Ten of Swords, didn't I? Ten of Wands. But we've got the Ten of Wands. We've got the World card. I feel something that you're having to really apply yourself to. Give it your full focus. Approach it with the right mindset. I actually feel you are going to achieve it with the World and the Six of Swords as well. We're seeing you moving forwards. Working hard, making choices along the way, but I'm seeing you getting to a point of success with something. I do think you're going to be working hard. There's a lot of mental energy going on here. Let's draw your runes. Interesting. Quite a few coming through. Yeah, a lot of mental energy around you. We have Othilla, the rune of separation. We have Algiz, the rune of protection. We have the breakthrough rune showing as well, Dagaz. How fascinating. Then we have movement. Awaz. We have Rado, the rune of journey. Oh, and we have Kano, the rune of openings. Oh my goodness me, we are seeing success here. I think you're going to be working, I want to say I think you're going to be working pretty hard. I don't think this is going to be a kind of chilled out, relaxed moon month for you, my lovely Libras. I think it's busy, it's happening. Very, very active. Possibly for some of you there may be travel involved with the Six of Swords and Rado as well. Windows of opportunity, so making choices and decisions. But I think you're going to get to a point where you're very much on track, actually. Now, however this applies to the individual unique circumstances of your world, my lovely Libras, yeah, I think you will find that you are very much on track by the end of this moon month. Getting where you need to be. Kind of, it's quite tangible. The energy is really quite tangible, but I think you've got to be focused. You've got to be quite clear cut about this. Working solidly with the Ten of Wands. Yeah, I think this, I'm not saying that this is, it's not exactly an easy month. Yeah, but I think it will be a month of significant achievements. That's what's coming through here. Now, Othilla, the rune of inheritance, of gain. This rune actually suggests that we let go of something in order to have something new, to receive something, which is why it's like an inheritance. It's like, in a way, there's a loss in order to get the inheritance, the gain. Sometimes this connects to real property, real estate. If any of you are moving house, you might have to be very, very focused and seriously on the case, especially with so much retrograde energy around. You know, you might have to really work very, very hard to be on the ball with stuff, because there's going to be quite a lot of fast kind of communication, you know, the potential for a lot of fast communication flying around. But I think you'll get there, basically. This feels like a significant affirmation of success, but also success and achievement, I feel, my lovely Libra. In many ways, the interesting thing is you are being guided with the High Priestess. There's something almost quite karmic, I think, going on here for you. Whatever you are working at, whatever you do achieve, and it will be unique to you, the breakthrough moment will come. Things are going to move forwards. I sort of almost feel like obstacles will be cleared for you. The way will be cleared. Yes, you're going to have to be an active participant, but it's one of those moon months when the energy is supporting you. And even though there is a lot to do and you're very busy, it is like if I use moving house as an example, if you're moving house, it doesn't happen without a lot of hard work. There's the packing to do. You've got to pack. You've got to get ready to move. There's lots of sort of documents usually to sign and things that have to be done and lots of planning and organising. And you've got to be really focused and get your head around it, and you have to take action. And it can feel like a lot to carry. But if you are focused and when it's meant to be at the same time, the sort of planets are aligning for you. So when it's meant to be in a particular, it's meant to happen, even though lots of work on your part is needed, at the same time, everything falls into place. It's kind of like you decide you're going to start packing, and then literally someone gives you a ring and says, do you know anyone that wants any boxes? Because my brother, daughter, sister, mother, father just moved, and we've got a ton of boxes, and we don't just want to bin them. And you're like, oh, wow, I need boxes. I'm just about to move. We've just had an offer accepted, or we've just, it's that kind of falling into place. So tons of work, but you will get there. Tons and tons of work, very focused, but you will definitely get there. That's what we're seeing. And I do think you will feel very much on track by the time you get to the end of the moon month. With the Seven of Pentacles, kind of almost like being able to see the results of your hard work and make decisions about how you move on from there. I mean, in a way, a bit like moving house, then you land and it all starts all over again. You've now got to unpack your boxes and you've got to start to kind of bed in and get to know people and get to know your neighbours. There's a lot of choices and a lot of work to be done, more work to be done. So this is like a chapter of work or a stage of work. So there's more to be done. But with the more to be done, I think absolutely it feels completely successful. I think what I'm going to do, my lovely Libras, is move into your extended reading. I mean, this is absolutely the flow of energy for you for this moon month. Now, the extendeds, I'm actually going to be looking and drawing cards initially about the bigger picture, the calling, the purpose, the higher perspective on this, because, the energy is primed. This moon month with the Lionsgate portal and various other astrological alignments for us to really lean into a space of possibility at almost like at a karmic level. And it does feel like there's a destiny or a timing involved here. So I'm going to draw cards around the higher purpose, and we'll then look at kind of money, career, finances, the stuff of your life, and also then the relationships within your world. And that could be love, it could be other relationships. So you're welcome to join me if you wish. The extended readings are in the membership area of YouTube and on Patreon. It's a way of me giving back to those people who are on those platforms. They work on donations, or Patreon works on donations, and YouTube has a fixed fee. But it's my way of giving back, because those extra donations mean that my free online library is available for anyone that wishes to use it for free, the A to Z of emotional health. And it's my way of saying thank you to all of those people who continue to offer those additional donations. So beautiful Libras, whether you join me for the extendeds or otherwise, thank you for being here. It's an absolute joy and a privilege to be connected with you and to read for you. And I am sending you all the love in the world. Tons of love, beautiful Libras. Beautiful Scorpios, welcome to your moon month reading. Let's find out about some key messages for you. I'm actually seeing, I'm seeing two cards for you. You're the first sign that has had two from this pack. How interesting. We have Angel of Grounding and Angel of Determination. Wow, these are biggie cards for you, my lovely Scorpios. Let's draw some tarot cards as well and some runes and see what we are shown. Wow. Okay. I'm using this lovely quirky tarot pack. That was flying out for you. 5 of Cups. Ah, lovely Scorpios. Angel of Grounding, Angel of Determination. I'm seeing these two. Actually, it's this one here I'm seeing. I just pull that one out. And also that one as well. Let's see what we have here. We have, oh my goodness me, so you've got 5 of Cups and 5 of Swords. And you also have the Star. Well, I'm really thrilled to see that there. Okay. You then have the Hanged Man and the Queen of Swords. Okay. This is an interesting moon month for you, it really is. You also have the rune of Strength. This is Uras. This is really interesting because this rune always tells me that the universe has your back. So I'm pleased to see it because we have the 5 of Cups and the 5 of Swords. I feel we're really counterbalanced here in a really good way with the Star and with the rune of Strength. Angel of Grounding, Angel of Determination. You're needing to process something or come through something. Maybe for some of you even make a decision. We have the rune of Fertility. Okay, and you have Hagalaz. Oh, how interesting. Okay, Scorpios, your reading is just fascinating. It's got a real duality of energy around it, okay? I feel there is actually an opportunity here, but you've kind of got to, well, I've got to think about how to word this, because the language that came through is probably not really appropriate for YouTube. It was grab it by the something and go for it. I'm not going to voice it on YouTube. I don't want any of my videos deleted. But yeah, I feel like you've got to seize the moment here. Now, for some of you, because this is a general reading, it's going to reach a lot of people. So there's a limit to how specific I can be, although I will be doing extended readings where we'll look at some more details and certainly the higher purpose of what's going on around you as well as sort of key relationships and areas around money, careers, finances, those kind of, the stuff of life. Hagalaz. For some of you, there is a situation that has been lingering. And I think this is about seizing the moment, grabbing it by the whatever, and with determination actually making a clear-cut choice that you are going to actually do something about it. There's a situation that's either been bugging you or it's been dragging on, or everything in your reading is like literally about seizing the moment and making a clear-cut choice here with the Queen of Swords. It's almost like quite a logical decision, but letting your mind govern your decisions rather than just emotionality. Even though something is feeling emotional for you, it's being really clear-cut. It's like making a decision to, if you've been through a period where things have been really difficult, it's like making a clear-cut choice that you are going to move this forwards. It's kind of like the energy of Hagalaz sometimes says, I've had enough of something. I don't want to sit with this anymore. It's not resonating with me. Now, of course, for some people, this could be a real energy of around people, perhaps, where you've had enough of some people, or you're making really clear-cut choices to, perhaps with determination to walk away from something, but you're also, of course, walking to something. Perhaps there's been a stalemate situation around you. It's interesting, the stalemate, it feels as though there's been something that has been lingering that you've really, it's been a challenge. But this moon month, somehow, I feel like things get shaken up a little bit for you, lovely Scorpios. It's like something comes in to shake your world up a bit. And in a way, it's kind of like, do you procrastinate? Do you kind of hang around? Or do you just crack on with it? Do you kind of say, do you know what? Enough is enough. The rune of fertility is interesting because the rune of fertility suggests, especially with the star, you've got possibility around you. Something is awakening in you. The rune of fertility requires completion of beginnings sometimes. So it's like you've kind of got to wrap something up, you know, and therefore you're free to move forward. So it's like putting something down. If something's been bugging you, this is about grounding your energy, not remaining stuck in anything here. Whether this is a limiting belief, you know, something in you that says, I just can't do this, or there's a tiredness or a fatigue or just the residue of disappointment, or you just haven't been feeling strong enough to make that choice, that decision. But this is kind of like a month of making a clear-cut choice. It's kind of like, do you know what? You know that the world is out there, it's for the taking. There's some kind of an opportunity or something that you would like, and this is about not procrastinating anymore, not deliberating anymore, and seizing the moment, grabbing it by the whatevers and just going for it. This is what we're seeing in the flow of energy for you. It could be, as I said, for some of you, you're walking away from a situation that hasn't been okay, so you're needing to ground yourself. Excuse me. Get your, you know, put the emotionality of it down and just make really clear-cut choices. You know, the Queen of Swords energy can be so helpful for us because, you know, sometimes she can be a bit cold and a bit hard because she's very clear about things, you know, she's not massively emotional about stuff. But sometimes when it's time to move on from something, or to, you know, give ourselves a really firm kind of, not exactly a talking to, but, you know, I have like regular site meetings with myself, which is not a bad thing. And sometimes those site meetings are very supportive. Well, they're always supportive, of course, that's the deal really. But sometimes those site meetings are, you know, might be me telling me to slow down, and might be me saying, look, just, you know, chill out. You know, life isn't in balance. You know, you're working too hard or whatever. But sometimes it's actually, do you know what, Jenny, put your bum on the seat and get going here. You know, stop procrastinating, make it happen. You know, you've got an idea. It's not going to happen unless you do it. And it's that second version of the site meeting where I have to be quite firm with myself. That's what I'm seeing here for you. Really being very firm with yourself about something. Because there is fertility and potential around you, the energy of fertility and potential. So it could be in real terms showing up already for you, and this is about going for it. Or it could be about making a decision to go for it, to step up and make the effort, to put yourself in situations where what you want could then emerge. Very, very interesting month for you, Scorpio, with so much, so much happening astrologically. Lots of capacity for reflection with the retrograde energy of various planets, including Mercury, but also a lot of punchy, fast-paced communications happening. So I think this is going to be a really interesting month for you, Scorpio. There's definitely possibility around you. I think, my lovely Scorpios, I'm going to dive on into the extended readings. Thank you so much for being here on YouTube, for following these monthly updates, and it's a real gift to be connected with you. You are welcome to join me for the extended. So I'm going to look at the bigger picture in these readings. I've done it with all the signs. What's the higher purpose of what is going on around you at the moment? And we'll also then look at the realness of your world, money, career, finances, the stuff of substance, and also relationships across the board. What's kind of happening with people? You know, people and our connections govern our lives so much. So you're welcome to join me if you wish. The extended readings are in the YouTube membership area here on YouTube, or they are on Patreon, which is a site that works on donations. And thank you to all of you who are members or on Patreon, because it's your donations that actually help me to maintain my free online library and maintain it as a free resource for anyone who needs to use it. So thank you all so much. Thank you for being here on YouTube. Tons and tons of love, Scorpio. Hey Sagittarius, welcome to your moon month reading. You have two cards. Scorpio just had two cards. They were the first sign to have 2 cards from this pack that came out, and now you have 2 as well. How amazing. Angel of Clarity and Angel of Gratitude. Beautiful cards for you, lovely Saggies. Okay, let's draw from a tarot pack and some runes as well and see what key messages are coming through for you for this moon month. I'm seeing this and those 2. Oh, there we are. Am I seeing any more coming through for my lovely Saggies? Yes. Gosh, you are getting a lot of cards, my lovely Sagittariuses. Let us see what we are shown. We have the High Priestess. How interesting. It's a number 2, and then it's followed by the 2 of Wands. Okay, we then have the Ace of Pentacles. We then have the Hanged Man, the 5 of Pentacles, the Page of Wands, the 3 of Cups, and the Page of Cups. Very interesting cards. Okay. Right, lovely Saggies. What an interesting month you have ahead of you. Let's draw some runes and then we'll dive in. You have the rune of Uruz, Strength. You have the rune of Jira, Harvest. And you also have the rune of Fehu. This is Possessions, Nourishment, Ambition Satisfied, Angel of Gratitude, Angel of Clarity. This looks to be a really, really very, sort of want to say quite exciting month for you, my lovely Saggies. Interesting though that we have the Hanged Man. We have the 5 of Pentacles followed by, we've got 2 pages, Page of Wands, Page of Cups, and then the 3 of Cups. What I'm seeing, Saggies, that something you are working on or committed to is going to sort of reach, it's almost like an initial stage of something. I don't think you get necessarily to like the end of a project. I mean, for some of you it might be. I mean, it could be a part of a project, could be part of a series of projects, part of your journey. This feels like you reach a point where it's like you get to a point of future promise with something. That's what's really coming through. You reach a point where something in your world moves on and you are in a space of clarity and gratitude. It would be like if you were facing any kind of decisions. Let's say you were, this is just an example, but if you were moving house, for example, and you were looking at endless properties, you reach a point where you actually choose the one you want. Maybe if you were looking at different job opportunities and you've been offered more than one, or you're working on a project, you reach a point where you know where it's going. If you're writing a book, you know how the book's going to end. You've written several chapters, you've really knuckled down. You haven't finished the book, but you know where you want it to go. It's like this space of promise with the 2 pages here. And how gorgeous. Page of Cups, something that you love. Page of Wands, something that you feel passionate and excited about. The Ace of Pentacles, I mean, there's energy here for you. This is what I'm also seeing. You're able to put energy into something here. There's a really lovely progression of something, building upon something that you want for the future. Now, whether this is connected to love, whether it's, you know, relationships, friendships, you know, community, or whether it's connected to your working world, whatever this is, it's like passion and aliveness. It's so much promise, and I feel that it puts you in a very optimistic place, which I think Sagittarius is going to sit really well with you, because Sagittarius is a very optimistic, sort of expansive sign. You're ruled by Jupiter. It's interesting, actually. I'm pretty certain that Jupiter and Saturn are going to be kind of coming together, I think, at some point. I would need to double check on that. I could be wrong, but how interesting that just the idea of Jupiter and Saturn is coming into my mind as I'm doing this reading. You know, Jupiter is that lovely, expansive energy. Saturn is an energy of kind of hard work, but real stuff. I do feel something of substance can happen. Something is, as well, with this Five of Pentacles, maybe an area that of lack. So whatever area this would be, I will be doing extended readings as always. They're in the membership area of YouTube and also on Patreon. You know, you're welcome, Saggies, to join me over for those if you wish. I'm going to be looking at the sort of the higher purpose of the month, because that's the kind of energy that's around us. I'm also going to be drawing, of course, cards, as I always do in the extended readings, around relationships across the board, all kinds of relationships, not just intimate ones, but all relationships, and also the stuff of your world, money, careers, finances, the real stuff, you know, the substance, your home, your family, that sort of stuff. So we'll be looking at all of that in the extendeds. I feel like there's an area of lack, that you have experienced a lack of something. There's probably a key area that's what I'm feeling like, Sagittarius, particularly with the High Priestess. For some of you, it could be connected to your community, or it could be connected to your home, or it could be connected to work, or it could be connected to you know, to relationships and love. But it's like almost as if there is a key area that will be personal to you, that has been sitting in lack. Something hasn't felt fulfilled yet. And something is shifting here. It's like sowing seeds and arriving at a point where you are clear about how you're moving forwards. For some of you, something could actually literally arrive. It could, a doorway could be opening for you with the Ace of Pentacles. So it's something that it's almost like an area that was a personal challenge for you. I think most of us in our manifestations, generally speaking, some areas of our lives will be going well in our manifestations, but other areas won't. You know, even though we're probably manifesting all the time across the board in lots of different bits of our lives, it is as though there is one area that has sort of somehow eluded you. Perhaps it's the job of your dreams, or the house of your dreams, or the person of your dreams. Something has eluded you. And I think this is a month when you start to see the potential of something coming through in this area. You start to feel passionate about it. So it could be somebody actually, someone or something coming in that's really real. And because it's really real, and it's like it shifts your perspective. It would be like, I don't know, let's say if this was love, it would be like meeting somebody and it's like, oh wow, you know, this is full of potential, and it lifts you, and you think, do you know what, this is amazing, you know, this is possible. This is what I'm seeing. It places you in a space of possibility. That's the key to the big key message for you, Saggies. It's something is arriving to put you into a mindset or a very real space of possibility, which feels extremely exciting, and it connects to some area that has previously eluded you or been a challenge for you. So there's a big shift in energy into this space, space of opportunity. How exciting. Sagittarius, I'm going to move into the extendeds, I think now. I'll look at the higher purpose, what's going on, extra guidance if that comes through, and then we'll look at the different areas of your world and see what details we are shown. You are welcome to join me on Patreon or in the YouTube membership area. Beautiful Sagittarius, thank you just for being here on YouTube. It's amazing to be connected with you all, and a great privilege and an honour to read for you. Thank you for being here. Tons of love, and whether I see you in the extendeds or for another reading here, I hope to see you soon. Tons of love. Capricorn, welcome to your moon month reading. This is fascinating. I've been drawing one card for most of the signs, and then suddenly, all in a row, Scorpio, Sagittarius, and now you, 2 cards from this pack. How interesting. Okay, you have Angel of Decisions, and you have Angel of Health. Very, very interesting cards, my lovely Capricorns. Okay, let's draw from the tarot. We're using the quirky tarot. Feels like the energy is really good for this pack of cards particularly. I'm seeing these 2, and actually those 2 as well. and also that one. Okay, what do we have for my lovely Capricorns? Queen of Wands, the High Priestess, and the Four of Pentacles. We have the Six of Wands and the Four of Cups. Okay, let's draw some runes for you as well. Just two. You have the rune of joy, Wunjo. Oh wow, and the rune of wholeness, Suelo. Oh, this is really exciting. Okay. Very, very exciting. Look at the High Priestess, bang in the middle. Lovely Capricorns. Beautiful souls. Don't hold on to the past. There's a pathway to go. There's something to do that's going to make you happy. Happy, if you think that happiness is health, isn't it? If we're in a state of happiness, we are in a state of health. There is a decision to make. There's no question of it, with this High Priestess card sitting bang in the middle. Interestingly enough, the choice, actually, I kind of want to say, which is very interesting, obviously the choice, the decision will be very personal to you each in the context of your own world. It's really black and white. It's a no-brainer. There's only one way to go. If you really look at it from the point of view of your heart, it's very interesting. Some of the readings this moon month have really been asking, or focused on really logical thinking. This is the opposite, Capricorn. This is about you listening to your heart, listening to the intelligence of your heart. I was watching a video the other day, actually, that, and it was about the heart center and the number. Apparently our heart sends more information to our brain than our brain sends to our heart. It has an intelligence. Your heart has an intelligence. There's a lot of research and science around the energy, the influence, the way in which the heart operates. It's way more than just, something that pumps blood around our bodies. It has an intelligence and a memory, actually, as well. It's been shown as well, which is fascinating. Anyway, I'll not dive into the science at the moment, but there's so much fascinating research in so many ways. It means that our world can open up so much. Capricorn, let me bring my focus back. This is about listening to your heart. It's a no-brainer. If you really listen to what matters to you, really listen to the singing of your soul, then there really is only one direction to go in. Happiness is health. Health is happiness. With the Four of Cups as well, we're seeing the potential for something to be, kind of almost want to say, again, it's this energy of a no-brainer coming through. Because this is a card of, of boredom, of fed upness. It's, something is, something's not right. So why would you hang on to it? If something's not right, why would you hang on to it? Why would you stay in something that isn't feeling good? I don't think I've seen such a clear-cut reading in a long time, in many ways, actually, Capricorn. It really does feel like this is a choice, I suppose, as well. And maybe we do need to really acknowledge this, that we all have conscious free will and choice. We can choose to stay in something, or we can choose to do something different. We have conscious free will and choice. And that's yours, it's your life, it's your world. Whatever the choice is that's around you this moon month, it is relating to something. It could well be, it could be a money decision, it could be, it could be a relationship. I suspect this connects to some element of people for many of you. But I do see really clearly here, Angel of Decisions, that there is a choice to make, and I think it truly is. It is honestly doing what's going to make you happy. And even if some of you feel like you're maybe being, I'm going to use the word selfish. I'm not suggesting that you should go out and do something that's really selfish or detrimental to anyone else. I'm not suggesting that at all. I'm not seeing that in your reading. What I'm seeing, though, is a choice. It is making a choice for your happiness. This is a choice that you need to make for you, lovely Capricorn. It's not about a choice that anybody else can make for you. I think it's ever so clear, and I think you absolutely know. And it really is about, it's a singular choice, and it is about what is right for you. It's not about anyone else, it's about what is right for you. This is your success, your achievement, your desire. Do what is right for you through and through. And I think it will be recognised. People actually around you recognise that this is right for you. It's really interesting. There's a kind of a little scenario coming in my mind, so I'm just going to listen to that story and voice it. It will be relevant to some, but not all. You know, this is, but it's the energy of the story that's important here. You know, this would be like if you, let's say you met somebody. You're single, you meet someone, but you know that your family wouldn't approve of them. They're not your usual type, or they're not what your family want for you. Or, I don't know, another decision might be, you know, you're planning on which university to go to, if you're at that stage of your world. And there's one that you really want to go to, but it's not the one that other people would choose for you. So you make the choice that's right for you, rather than holding on to what you think you should be doing. This is what feels right. And actually, the great thing here is that people will honour your choices. This is really coming through very strongly, Capricorn. People will respect and honour your choices. So whatever this decision is, I think it's a no-brainer if you listen to your heart and you listen to the way that you feel, as opposed to your head. Your head can tie you in knots, but your heart will never lie to you. And I think, my beautiful Capricorns, if you listen to that, you'll find that you just know you've made the right choice. It was right, and people will really honour that decision and that choice 100%. Beautiful Capricorns, I'm going to move to the extended reading, I think. So in the extendeds today, I'm going to be looking at the higher purpose, getting guidance, looking at the higher perspective, the bigger picture. I'll also be drawing cards and looking at the substance of your life, money, career, finances, the world around you, kind of possessions, home, that kind of stuff, and also relationships across the board. You know, love, but also working alliances, just your relationships in general, with cards coming through for any of those relationships that feel as though we want a little bit more information or clarity. Beautiful souls, you are welcome to join me for the extenders if you wish. They are here on YouTube in the membership area, or they are also on Patreon. It's entirely up to you. Thank you for being here regardless. You know, there's no pressure for anyone to ever follow through with an extended, but if you'd like to join me on those platforms, you are really welcome. Beautiful Capricorns, thank you for being here, and I look forward to seeing you for some other readings really soon. Wonderful Aquarius, beautiful souls, welcome to your moon month reading. I think you've got two cards. How interesting. There's only one other sign, I think, maybe a couple of other signs, but yeah, this is quite unusual. Now you have Angel of Determination and Angel of Clarity. How very interesting, lovely Aquariuses. We will be drawing runes in a moment actually as well, but let's draw some tarot cards first, I think. See what is happening this moon month. How is the energy impacting on my lovely Aquariuses? I'm seeing this one and that one too, and this one and this one. I think it's that one as well. What are we showing for my lovely Aquariuses? May we please ask for information? How interesting. Look at this. You have the Angel of Determination, Angel of Clarity, and the Hanged Man. Well, this is seriously, I cannot believe this. This is just almost all major arcana cards. Okay, big stuff. Big stuff, big energy. We have the Hanged Man, we have the Magician, we have the World. Keep going. Whatever you are doing, do more of it, Aquarius. The changes that you desire are coming. I mean, look at this. You have the Tower. You have the Six of Cups, which is just fabulous. What a lovely energy. And then you have the Emperor. I feel that whatever you are doing this moon month, my lovely Aquariuses, you can really, you can make stuff happen. The energy is really significant for you. It really is. Anything that has been stuck, you can shift it, you can move it. Now, I think you move it through determination and willpower. It's not something, this doesn't feel like one of those moon months where, you know, sometimes a reading will really suggest, you know, just sit back, you know, work with the universe, let the universe, you know, deliver, and then you can respond and you can relax. And this is not one of those months for you. Definitely, definitely, this is happening. I think you can kind of turn around pretty much any situation, but it will be through determination and willpower and leadership and your own sovereignty and your own stepping up. If you need to bring anything to a completion, create a new beginning, you can achieve this. Now, what is very interesting is the fact that we have the Hanged Man and the Tower sitting beneath. So it may be that something reaches a kind of a pinnacle, really, like the energy of something or the situation or a relationship, a situationship, something reaches, exactly say it comes to a head. You know, I think we'd have the Judgment card if that was what was going on. It feels more like, basically, something is changing, something has to give. And so it does. It may already be giving. You may already be feeling like you're having to, with determination, already see something through. But this is literally about seeing something through to the finish line, getting it done. Whatever that is. Angel of Clarity. Now, this will apply to any situation in your world. And obviously, you are all unique individuals on your own unique pathways. I kind of feel, if I look at the energy, lovely Aquariuses, I feel like I could say to you, if there is anything in your world that has been very stuck, that's a challenge for you, you can seriously turn it around. You'll turn it around with determination. You know, just get very clear about what you want and stick to it. However, you know, if there's also something you really, really want, but you haven't yet moved it forwards. And marriage is coming through here, interestingly enough, which is, this will be a message for some, but not all. But, you know, if you are, I don't know, like if you're preparing for a wedding or something, it's a lot of work, you know, on top of what you're doing already, but you're going to see it through. It's going to be a fabulous outcome. But, you know, maybe you're having to navigate additional stuff around that. That there's just something about achieving through determination, through perseverance, keeping on going, irrespective of any upheaval. So there could be some upheaval in your world. This could be going on already. And you know, the Tower is a biggie, it's a big card. Something is dissolving or breaking down or ceasing. Dissolving is perhaps not the right word. I mean, this feels more like the demolition team have come in, but in a really good way. It's upheaval, it's shifts and changes and transformations but with purpose. There's a higher purpose always in building something from scratch, or building something new out of something that has kind of broken down. There's an opportunity for a new beginning here, to complete something, to see your way through it. So if we think of the everyday stuff of your world, you know, relationships, taking a relationship, if it broke down, taking it to the next level, making a commitment, moving it forwards, seeing it through, saying how you really feel. You know, if it's, you know, with determination, saying, do you know what, I'm not going to leave this in stalemate. If you have not been getting on with someone, you know, and it has been like a stalemate situation, you know, it broke down, you can move it forwards with determination and clarity and real effort on your part. You can sort this out. So however this energy is emerging in your world, you can actually do this. There's a lot of power and a lot of energy available for you. Let's draw some runes. Power and energy are exactly what's coming through here for you, actually, Aquarius. So we have thiis, the rune of constraint. We have, excuse me, Algis, the rune of protection. Wow, we have Hagalaz, the rune of disruption, which I always associate with Aquarian energy because it kind of connects to Uranus, the great awakener, who is one of your rulers. So, and then we have, look at this, the rune of joy, Wunjo. So we're seeing exactly the same flow of energy here. Something that is feeling constrained, or, you know, you're having to be patient with it, or you're feeling like it's stuck or it's not working, or you don't quite know, you can't quite yet see the pathway forwards. You know, you're going to be guided through this. Very interesting with the rune of protection. And this rune of protection, it speaks of managing your own emotions, navigating your own emotions, particularly during times of transition and upheaval. So with Hagalaz as well, where Hagalaz is about really restructuring and creating change that's needed. With the rune of Wunjo, joy, I am seeing you getting the outcome you want. I'm also mindful, lovely Aquarius, is that of course Pluto is just on that cusp and coming in. You know, Pluto's been dancing between Capricorn and Aquarius for a little while, right on that cusp, sort of, you know, stepping into your sign and then back again and stepping into your sign. So you're really getting the energy of rebirth. It's interesting. I mean, I think of the Tower as like the demolition team arrival. That's the Pluto energy too. Demolition team arrive. They're taking things down and the new is coming in. This is how it's going to be. I almost feel like you are like sitting with exactly that energy. It's like you're on the cusp of a change, and it's a big change with all these big cards. What we're seeing this moon month, very, very clear guidance for you, is that with determination, it's such a profound message, with determination you can not only get through this, but you can get the result that you desire, real happiness, real clarity, knowing where you are. So pretty powerful reading for you, my lovely Aquariuses. Now, beautiful souls, I'm going to move on into the extendeds. Now, the extended readings I do they are on Patreon and in the YouTube membership area. It's my way of saying thank you to those people who, you know, bring in additional support, and that support actually pays for the library, my free online library, which helps many, many people. It's about psychology and emotions. So I'm so, so grateful, and it's my way of giving back a little bit to those people, a little bit extra. So thank you so much, all who are on Patreon. Thank you, everyone, just for being here on YouTube. I mean, it's amazing to be connected with you. In the extendeds, I think I'm going to look at the bigger picture. I'm going to see what the higher purpose here is about. And then I think I'm going to look at the details, get some details about your world, you know, money, career, finances, the substance of your life, and then relationships as well, because we're all interconnected with lots of people in different ways, you know, whether that's closely or otherwise. We meet people, or our lives are affected by people all the time. So let's find out what this is about in detail in the extended readings. But Aquarius, your message is really clear. With determination, you absolutely can get the desired result. Beautiful souls, thank you so, so much. I look forward to seeing you for some other readings really soon, whether it's in the extendeds or other readings here on YouTube. Tons of love. Pisces, welcome to your reading, beautiful souls. Let's see what's happening for you this moon month. I'm actually seeing this one for you. Angel of Power. Wow. That's a very powerful card. Let's draw some tarot cards for you as well. Angel of Power, seeing those coming through for you straight away. and these, and this one, and also this one. Okay, what is happening for my lovely Pisces? So we have 4 of Pentacles. We have 6 of Cups. We have the Empress and the 2 of Cups. Then we have the Magician and the Death card. Wow. Okay. My immediate kind of first message that's coming out is that you can turn something around here. You can personally choose to turn something around. Angel of I wanted to just say angel of empowerment, but angel of power. I think there is something going on in your world that maybe you have not been able to either sort of feel like you have your own sovereignty or your own agency, or it was out of your hands. For some of you, this will connect to a connection with someone. I kind of want to say, don't bear a grudge. Don't hold on to any kind of insecurities around something. I almost, do you know what? It's got this feeling, okay, I'll just say how it is as it's coming through. Like life's too short. Life is too short to hold on to insecurity and then months down the road, wish you'd actually done something. Life's too short to bear a grudge. It's kind of got that flavour about it. I feel like you could step up. Even the Magician and the Angel of Power are kind of like in the same, holding the same stance. Turn something around, shift it. I think you are in a position here of empowerment. I think if there can be a change initiated in some part of your world, you're the one to initiate it. Okay, so we have the rune of constraint, thiis. We have fertility, and we have joy, Wunjo. Wunjo showed itself first. Okay. Now, with the rune of constraint, thiis, it really kind of does tend to suggest that patience is needed, you know. So I also want to say Rome wasn't built in a day as well. It feels like life's too short, but also Rome wasn't built in a day. So this really sort of suggests, you know, crossing the T's, dotting the I's, making sure that you do what you do with care and with thought. This isn't an all or nothing. This isn't a sort of, let's turn this around straight away. I mean, I think you are someone who can, in this moon month, your energy, Pisces, is about turning something around. But it needs nurturing rather than kind of dynamic sort of, right, I'm going to make this happen. It needs nurturing. It needs, you know, love, care, nurture. If you have been struggling with something yourself, rather than giving yourself a hard time, then, you know, nurture yourself, take care of yourself. However, take care of yourself whilst also stepping forwards. I mean, we know that, you know, the universe is in perpetual motion all the time. I mean, that's a sort of a scientifically known fact. You know, we are in, perpetual motion. We're growing every day. You know, your skin is you know, transforming and growing, and your ideas, your mind is growing. Everything is growing. Everything is in a forward motion. And I kind of almost want to say, don't resist forward motion. Let things emerge. I do see a coming together or a reunion or a resolution of something that has been not okay, so you can turn it around. We've got joy sitting right in the middle. Something that has felt stuck or restricted. Perhaps it did require your patience. It could be a period of some element of your life as well. This is a general reading. If it was a personal reading, I'd be looking more at relationships here. And in the extendeds, what I'm going to be doing is looking at, I'm going to look at the higher purpose today in the extendeds, actually. What's the bigger picture, the higher purpose? Because the energy around us is very much globally around us, is all about transformation. upping our consciousness. I'm then going to look at the kind of stuff of your life, you know, work, money, career, finances, you know, homes, stuff like that. And then I'm going to look at relationships as well across the board. It could be any kind of relationship, but we will look into relationships. For me, there is a bit of a relationship emphasis in your reading. We have love with Wunjo, the rune of joy. I mean, if we think of joy as being an element of love, something can be transformed here. And I don't see the Death card as interestingly enough, as ending a relationship with the Six of Cups and the Two of Cups. I see it more as ending a conflict or a stalemate or a stuckness or a period of stuckness where you haven't felt that you could be in a relationship, or perhaps, you know, you've not been in touch with someone for a long time. This would be the time to reach out. If you've been thinking about reaching out to someone, or you've lost touch with somebody, or something's just gone by the wayside, this is the time to actually move it forwards, to create that shift, to create that change. And you can initiate it, but you need to nurture it along. You know, it's not a sort of a making it happen. It's a sort of gently nurturing it, but in a solid kind of powerful kind of way. With commitment, really, I suppose, actually, making a commitment to something that you wish to move forwards. In many ways, I do feel there's something very central to you. This is what I'm seeing with the Four of Pentacles. And it could be an inner attitude, or a way of a behaviour pattern, or a something that you have that has actually held you back. Yeah, something that has basically held you back. So it could be for some of you literally an inner attitude, or a limiting belief, or just a repeating pattern that gets in the way of connections with people in general terms. Or it could also be, because I think it can be brought to light and you can be empowered to do something with this. But it needs care and nurture and love, rather than, you know, a dynamic, no criticism involved here, absolutely no criticisms. And likewise, if there is a connection to someone which has fallen by the wayside, or it isn't going very well, again, it requires nurture. I think there is, quite an emphasis on some element of relationship in your world this moon month, my lovely Aquariuses, actually. But you have the power to transform something, which is really, really very lovely. And that seems to be the greatest emphasis. It could be working relationships, of course, as well. So I think, my lovely Pisces, I'm going to move into the extendeds. I'm going to look at the higher purpose, the bigger picture, the soul growth, and then I'm going to look at relationships across the board, love as well, and then I'm going to look at I think the stuff of your life, money, career, finances, which of course our relationships are there as well. We are constantly engaging, connecting with people, you know, in one way, shape or form, even if it's only from a distance, with even people like neighbours who you might know well or not know well. But we are affected by people. We affect people and they affect us. So, you know, there is something of that around you. But Pisces, you are in a position to transform something, or regenerate it, rekindle it. For some of you, there is a rekindling, a regeneration. How fabulous! With the rune of joy, is loaded with potential as well, with fertility. Absolutely loaded with potential. How magic. Beautiful souls, thank you so much for checking in on the the energy update and these readings, and for being here on YouTube. It is such an honour to read for you. And I'm going to move over and do the extendeds now. They're available on Patreon and in the membership area. They are my way of giving back to people who are very, very generously giving that little bit more, and that little bit more helps many people because it funds my free online library. So, you know, thank you so much to all of you. Thank you all of you for being here, and thank you to those of you on Patreon and in the membership area. And I look forward to seeing you all for another reading really soon, whether it's the extendeds or here on YouTube. Beautiful souls, thank you so much for joining me today for this moon month energy update. Thank you for joining me for the all zodiac sign readings. Thank you all of you who are accessing the extended readings on Patreon and in the Moon Magic membership area here on YouTube. All of these things, your liking, sharing, subscribing, everything that you do helps me to continue to put free stuff into the world. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for being here, and tons of love. Have an amazing moon month. It looks to be interesting, turbulent sometimes, maybe intense sometimes, but nevertheless, it's never what is actually happening, it's how we respond to what's happening that matters. Tons of love, and I look forward to seeing you for some other readings or energy updates or videos really soon.